Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 33. As always, I am your host, Nick, and with me as always, my co-host, Joel. Of course, subscribe to us on YouTube if you aren't already. I know there's a whole bunch of you aren't subscribed. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, anywhere you can find us. Go ahead and give us a follow. Go buy our merch. I know there's tons of people who don't buy our merch. Subscribe to our Patreon, only $5 a month. Yada, 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 all that stuff out of the way. Now we can get into our topic. Just wanted to clear that. Yeah.
Wait, before we get into the topic, let me just ask a question real quick.
What's
if
up?
you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
Exactly.
What are
y'all
you doing?
If you're not subscribed, then what the hell are you doing?
Like, comment, subscribe. Come on.
Do everything.
Let's do it. Show some love.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Show some love. Spam us with all those comments, likes,
exactly.
and follows.
Tell us what you think.
Go ahead. Exactly. Today's topic is about the man himself.
Big weekend.
It just had a great Sunday. What you could call him a triple champ now. Kenny, I like to call him Kenny Four Belts. He technically has 4 belts, but Kenny Four Belts, my guy, Kenny Omega. He just won the Impact World Championship this past Sunday at Impact Rebellion. Now is a 3 triple champ, 4 champ. I don't know how to describe it.
Is he a 4 champ?
He's 3. He's a obviously AEW, AAA, and Impact.
Oh, he still has the AAA.
Yes.
Okay.
Which we will get into in a bit. But he has 4 belts.
Yeah.
But he's considered a 3 triple champ because he is the champ of AEW, Impact, and AAA.
Yeah.
But he, like I said, I don't understand.
Technically,
it's 3.
He's a 4 type.
Yeah. He holds 4 belts, but he's a 3 champ.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. That was confusing as hell to me. Like I remember when they first announced it for, I think it was the last pay-per-view Impact did, when Moose went up against Rich Swann for the unification of the belts. That was odd to me because you know what, weren't unifications supposed to be just for like when whoever wins just gets 1 belt? Wasn't that the typical thing in wrestling?
Yeah, that's a typical thing. But
that's what I thought of. Like, okay, if whoever wins just gets, okay, like I thought they were going to just, whoever wins it becomes Impact and then just grab the TNA one.
Yeah, but technically he was the Impact and TNA title champion. So technically, it's all about technicality.
Yeah.
So technically now Kenny holds the Impact and TNA title, which
they don't even mention
but now this brings into the idea of why is the TNA belt still hanging around?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's going on with that?
I have no. That's what I was thinking too. Like, because at first I was like, okay, now they're gonna unify the belts. TNA is gonna be gone, and then once they announced that the winner of that match faces Omega at Rebellion, I was like, okay, now they're obviously bringing in that that stipulation where like, oh, if whoever wins the AEW Impact match, then whoever gets both belts. Obviously, he's not technically considered TNA. They never refer him as a TNA World Champ, but he has the belt because of the collector thing.
Yeah.
So he's a collector of belts, but he's not really that champ. He just has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not really the TNA champ, but he just has it just to have it.
But Rich Swann did beat, I think he beat Moose.
Yeah.
For the TNA title.
Yeah.
So technically Omega is the TNA champion, even though I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, me too.
It's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But now brings into the question. That was my whole thing. What the whole build up to his match. Why is the title still hanging around? Yeah. I thought once he beat Moose, that was the end of that.
That was
he kept holding it. He kept bringing it out. So who knows what's the idea with this?
I have no idea. Yeah, I am wondering what. I don't think. I guess it's technically the Impact. I think they're referring to it as the Impact. So whenever they defend it, it's technically defending both belts instead of just one.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing of like when WWE had the Undisputed Championship and it was just the WWE Championship, but they held both the heavyweight and the WWE champion for a while. You know what I mean? I think it was the feud with Orton and Cena. I think right before they made the new belt.
Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing with the tag team belts. the tag team belts they had 10 years ago around. Then it was WWE and World Tag Team. Then they decided on making one belt for it. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what they're doing. They're gonna go and eventually going to end up combining it. Well, not combining it, but just making one belt for both
Yeah.
instead of just
Yeah.
having one.
My thought process is, now this is jumping way ahead, but when they finally somebody beats Kenny for the belt
Yeah,
and brings it back to Impact, that's when they'll bring out a new championship to combine the two.
yeah. That's what I
So
was
they'll
gonna
be
say. Like
the Impact undisputed champion.
Yeah. So I was gonna say the same thing. Like eventually they're gonna make it a big thing where whoever wins it gets the brand new Impact belt that they designed.
And it'll be like the new era of
Yeah,
Impact. Yeah.
yeah. So
That's how
because
I'm looking at it.
I know I watched Rebellion. They announced 3 more pay-per-views: one May, one June, one July.
Great show.
Great show.
Great
Yes,
show. I didn't watch all of it. I only caught the second half. I still have to go back and watch the first half.
Yeah.
But great show from what I saw.
Yeah, it was a great show. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so
People
they announced
sleeping on Impact, man. They sleeping
I know,
on it.
right? I know. Shout out to my guy W Morrissey, Big Cass. My guy looks shredded.
That was.
He looks ripped.
I'm so like
for,
happy for him.
For a 7-footer, he is ripped.
Yeah. He like people keep talking about that he looks like Edge, just huge. It's a fact. Like it's just
he does a little bit. He reminds me. He got the facial hair and the long hair, but yeah,
it's like the facial features.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Magic starts doing the spear now. He starts taking the spear.
Oh man, that dude doing a spear 7 foot, yo.
No, it's gonna. Oh my god, you can't even do that. I don't think
that would look so. I want to see what that looks like though.
Exactly.
Like, that would probably look
like
so awkward.
But you're gonna have to do it to another 7-footer. There's no way you can do it to someone smaller than him.
Nah, you gotta do it to somebody like do it to like a Rich Swan. Do it to somebody small. Not small, but
like someone jumping off the top rope and then
somebody who doesn't reach 6 foot. If he does it to somebody over 6 foot, it's gonna look like a regular spear, I think.
Yeah.
But if he does it to somebody under like 5'9", it's gonna look ridiculous, and I can't wait to see it at least once.
Yeah, like I was expecting Enzo to come out too, because that would be cool if they had a tag team, a new tag team with especially 2 guys that have experience working together. But it's cool seeing him working somewhere with the company,
definitely.
Instead of just doing indie stuff. But yeah, so I saw on Rebellion that they have 3 more pay-per-views coming up. One next month, one in June, and another in July. I'm assuming Slammiversary is in July. I think that's when they're gonna do the unification thing. Where whoever
you think that's when it's gonna be?
Yeah, I think, because what I'm assuming is this. I think this is my theory for the next 3 Impact shows they're doing. I forgot the names of the next 2, but the one in May, they're gonna probably have a rematch between Swan and Omega for the Impact belt, not for both.
Yeah.
Omega's probably gonna win that one, and then I'm assuming Moose is gonna get someone involved. Probably gonna challenge Omega at the June pay-per-view. That's when it's going to be Omega and Moose. Omega's probably going to win it there. And then Slammiversary, when that comes around in July, then I feel like it's going to be somebody that was recently released with WWE. I'm assuming it's going to be Samoa Joe, maybe because that's their biggest pay-per-view of the year. Yeah. Remember last year's Slammiversary, that's when a few of the recently released, I think it was the Good Brothers and then Brian Myers came through and Eric Young. That came through. They were 3 of the biggest releases, not biggest, but 3 releases from last year in 2020. Yeah. So I'm assuming at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 people coming through. And I think one of them is going to be Samoa Joe, kind of doing like an open challenge type thing. Either where like, oh, I have no opponent. Let me just open a challenge to somebody who comes out. Because no one wants to face him, blah, blah, blah. And then out comes Samoa Joe. Or maybe just Samoa Joe just comes out after and attacks Omega leading up to the next pay-per-view. Then there's Samoa Joe winning that belt. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
Okay.
That I mentioned this last episode too when we talked about the releases. How I think Samoa Joe should go to Impact, win the title there, and then have him represent Impact in this AEW Impact crossover type thing to kind of give Impact more star power. Because I'll be honest, if Rich Swann would have held the title still, would you rather him going up against like a Moxley, Eddie Kingston, all those big names over there, like Cody? Yes, he could probably wrestle them. It'll probably be good matches. Yes, not going to discredit him there. but I would prefer someone else to represent Impact in the World Championship way over Swan.
Yeah, his name isn't like that.
Yeah,
He's great in the ring.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. Even the match on Sunday proved that
hell
he
yeah.
can go toe to toe. He just doesn't have that star power yet. I
Yes,
think they
he
can
could.
get him
He
there.
could. Yeah,
They
he
can
could.
get him there. And I think they're working on it. I think Impact is where they're gonna make him. You just gotta give him some time.
Yeah, I'm thinking that like eventually, maybe after the next pay per view or some point over the summer, he's going to go to AEW and do something over there as an Impact star.
Yeah.
Going to AEW and doing something over there where maybe he beats Darby Allin for the TNT Championship and takes their title over there, or something, to kind of stir up the pot with this kind of feud and storyline they're going with. Because let's be honest, it's still one sided. It's been
No,
one
yeah.
sided from the start, and
But I
they
think
need
this is
some
where
mix.
it's gonna change now.
How do you
Because
say
right
how
now,
to-
like they couldn't really do a lot with Impact. Like you said, there wasn't
Yeah.
really any big stars over there. I think we never really looked at it this way, but I think AEW's there to help Impact make stars and help legitimize them. Because if somebody beats and pins Omega for the belt, that legitimizes them. You know what I mean?
I think the only star that I can think of instead of a singles competition in the men's division is Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
He's, you mean, yeah, you do have other people like Sammy Callahan, Trey Miguel, other guys over there, but they haven't reached it. Like Sammy Callahan, kind of feel like Callahan's been the star, but I think he kind of lost a little bit of momentum over
I
there,
love Callahan.
and he should get more big of a push. I think he should be someone who gets involved in the AEW storyline. And Moose.
He's, you want to talk about fans booking real quick? He's the
Go ahead.
person that have taken the title.
Off Omega?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah.
And I think there's a whole layout to it, but everything comes.
Talk about it, man.
You talk about Slammiversary, right?
Yeah.
I think Slammiversary is where it kicks off. Because you said it's 2 pay-per-views coming up, right? Like in June and July. Are they like pay-per-views, or are they like
they have one
special
May
Impact
it's pay-per-view
episodes?
It's
Oh, it's pay-per-view pay-per-views?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't peep that.
They had a whole commercial of it. They aired it. I think it was right before the main event. I'm not sure, but they aired it. Then they had they said it like kind of like what WWE does with the next pay-per-views. They announced it like one in May, one in June. Then they had like a whole little trailer of Slammiversary.
Gotcha. The only one I saw was the Slammiversary because it was all over Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, your boy streamed the second half, but I bought the replay, so don't talk shit. I bought the replay, and that's where I'm gonna watch the full thing all together. But my thing is, I think it's gonna start at Slammiversary. I think, like you talked about, Samoa Joe is gonna play a big part in that, and I think everybody's gonna like go and think, like you said, Samoa Joe's gonna be the person to take it off of Omega. I don't think so. I think him and Joe and Callahan will feud for a little bit on who's gonna get that title fight at Bound for Glory. That's their big show right after Slammiversary. I think it's usually in October. Because it's always the big 2, Bound for Glory and Slammiversary.
Yeah.
Bound for Glory, I think, is where the title is gonna come back to Impact.
When does that usually take place? Like in August?
It's like usually in October.
October. Oh, okay.
Like October, yeah. Yeah, because usually is it October? I believe it's in October. The one I went to was in October. I'm gonna double check real quick.
Technically, they haven't announced it yet, so it could be in August or September. It could be earlier.
Yeah, so it's been in October. It's been in October and sometimes in November. It's happened like in November once or twice. But I always remember Bound for Glory in October because they did that 1 year that was 10-10-10 was Bound for Glory. That was the big pay-per-view. But I think that's where the title will come back to Impact. But I think Callahan and Joe, if Joe comes back, this is just if Joe comes back. I still think Callahan should be the person to bring it back. But if Joe comes back, him and Callahan should start their feud either at Slammiversary, where Joe returns, or the Impact after let Joe do like a one match. Maybe Callahan does a open challenge for Slammiversary and says whoever shows up,
someone's gonna do an open challenge.
And
not to be Omega, but I feel like someone will.
Yeah. And let's say it's Joe. Joe comes in and just squashes him. Callahan. And Callahan wasn't with that. And he goes with the feud saying, I wasn't prepared for the fight, da 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 da. And they go on with this storyline for a couple months leading up to around, let's say, August or September. Let's say September, because that's when AEW usually has All Out, right?
Yeah, like end of
Usually
August,
it's like
beginning of
that.
September. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. I forgot what. I think it's Labor Day weekend.
around there. Yeah,
Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend usually. So I say it all comes down to that, and Callahan jumps the rail, whatever, attacks Kenny, and that's where it sets up Callahan versus um Callahan versus Omega. But Joe's like, yo, you can't just go in there and demand a match, whatever. They have a match. Maybe you do like a special Impact pay-per-view type of thing, like you know how
they usually do some on Saturdays. That's like random,
yeah,
not
like
random, but like this. It's not a big pay per view, but it's like a special on Saturdays.
yeah, so maybe they do like one of those and you get the one-on-one Callahan versus Joe, whoever wins
Yeah,
faces Omega, and then you put the heel Rocket on Callahan. You make him cheat to win and beat Joe. You have him cheat to win to beat Omega. That kind of turns Omega babyface, but not really. And then you go on with the feud. Callahan gets the new belt. I'm the new era of Impact. Joe, you're washed up. You were here 10 years ago, and you should have never came back. And you get that storyline onto the next year. Callahan versus Joe for the title.
I wouldn't mind that, honestly.
And I think the promos they can do to build up against each other is gonna be insane.
Yeah, I mean, when you said new era, the first person I thought of, because it's someone that has to be. I feel like in terms of making that storyline with this is a new era, it has to be someone who actually is new in the company. So I feel like it's going to be someone debuting and making their first time show. I don't know if he's ever been in Impact before WWE.
Wait,
But I feel like it's going to be Andrade. I'm not sure. I have a strong feeling.
Oh man, I don't know about that one.
It could be because I think in the Indies they might make him big. I think they might make him big and go strong and win titles.
Yeah.
Not like Omega with collecting all the belts, but they might have him like win a championship here and there. Maybe he goes to Mexico. Maybe he beats Omega over there for the AAA belt. Maybe that's the thing. They have somebody go represent from AAA, someone from Impact, someone from AEW, like team up to like, oh, let's you face him in that company, you face him there, you face him here, and then we try to take each title separately. It's basically it's 3-on-1. It's a 3-on-1 type of situation, but not all on the same show. Okay. So he has to worry about 3 different people. Well, all 3 of them have to worry about one person, and that's Omega. So,
got you. I feel you. My whole thing with the Callahan being the new era was because even though he's won the title before, like I think he beat Brian Cage. I think it was in a cage match, and then he had that whole storyline with Eddie Edwards and stuff. But it wasn't like solidified. I feel, in my own opinion. So this is like him saying, I am now the top guy in this place. This is now this is my yard now. You know what I mean? This is a new era. This is a Sam Callahan era. And if you don't like it, learn to deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I take it. But I can see how you mean to have somebody brand new bring in that new era. Yeah. But you never know. Maybe because I feel like to get the title off of Kenny, it kind of, I feel it has to be a heel, in my opinion, even though Kenny is a heel. Yeah. I feel that's the only way to get it off of him. Yeah. To make, because then also
make it more believable.
Yeah, you don't want, because then also you don't want TNA to kill the whole Kenny Omega vibe. Yeah. Because then if he beats him clean, he goes back to AEW, and then
now it's like they're probably gonna forget about like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, like you got pinned clean. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like at least if he cheats to win, let's say he creates his own group or even like a team impact or whatever that helps him, and they just run together like all the heels and they go against the elite or Bullet Club, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. But they have somebody to match up against, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that it's not just a clean win.
Yeah, and I feel like that match between the Elite and Team Impact is gonna happen. I feel like
Oh,
at some
definitely.
point. So whether it's with like I think it's gonna start with someone pinning Kenny. That way it starts the fire. Like, oh, you beat Kenny. He lost
Yeah.
the belt. Now they're gonna go after them. So it's probably gonna be like a 5-on-5, like the Omega, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers, maybe against like 5 guys from Impact that have a
Yeah.
feud with them. Maybe it is a Rich Swan, you know, and
That
4 of the
that
guys.
that match might need to be all baby face. But then
Yeah,
again, you can use that, and let's say you just have a mix of people, and let's say that's just another add-on to the Sammy Callahan versus Joe feud, or Callahan versus whoever's coming in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, bring it to that like, I don't care about Team Impact. I can care less. I care about the title. Care about beating Kenny.
yeah.
So let's say they cost them and the elite win or whatever, and it just cost them, and that's how we plant little seeds of
Yeah.
planning to the big storyline happening.
That may be. I feel like that's gonna be more of an AEW show, where maybe it is all out. Maybe at all out, it will be a 5-on-5 match. So like, okay, maybe you
I
put
would
your
think even
tag.
maybe they do like a pay-per-view in August, like maybe, or even in July after Slammiversary, after like whoever comes over, and
Yeah,
then you get those guys in the 5-on-5
it's
mixed
like
with old Impact guys, and then it's like, all right, let's see what happens, and that's how you plant the seed, so that at All Out something big happens. That's like, oh, this is leading up to Bound for Glory.
yeah, like maybe like at some point the Good Brothers take back the Impact tag belts, and then now you have all champs again. And
Yeah,
then at all out, it's like let's say it's like the Elite and then Good Brothers versus like Rich Swan, Finn Juice, another tag team in Impact, to where like if the Elite wins, they retain the titles. If the other team wins, they get the titles, type of thing. So that way, all titles on the line.
so what I thought of, like, I was talking to my brother about this. What I thought of was, let's say you do
We gotta
go
get
the
him on,
heel
bro.
way.
we
Facts.
gotta get him on here.
Because this is who I vent to. When wrestling comes on,
Yeah.
I think of stuff, I'll be like, yo, you know what would be dope? So my whole thing is like, let's say All Out, right? By
Yeah.
then they're all champions again. Good Brothers win the belts at Slammiversary. But then it's, let's say Finn Juice comes and they're like, we want a rematch, and they say, all right, we'll give you a rematch at All Out, because we'll have it
Okay.
on AEW pay-per-view. All right,
Okay.
cool. I say that night, everyone's lose their belts.
Everyone. Oh, okay.
Everyone. With the help of whoever is fighting for the championship. Right now, in my mind, is Callahan.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Callahan interferes with each match. He pops out, interferes somehow, whether distracting the ref. He doesn't get physically involved.
Okay. Yeah.
But he cost the Good Brothers the belts, the Young Bucks the belt, and Kenny the belt.
So quickly, I have a question.
Yeah.
Next major company to have their champion being defeated by Omega for the title. Which company and why? Which company do you think he's gonna go after next to beat the major champion? And
Which company?
yeah,
The easiest now would have to say Ring of Honor.
yeah,
Would have to say Ring of Honor, because it's just easy access. It's still in the US.
yeah,
Like, if I would say New Japan, because they have that relationship now that we see Moxley defending his US title on AEW TV,
yeah,
which that's a whole nother conversation. But when I saw that, I said, oh, we got a partnership here.
yeah.
Who even knows what can happen with that?
Exactly.
Because my whole thought is that because I thought about this, even if Omega loses at All Out, by then, I think personally, he'll have another title already.
Yeah, I
So
think so
losing
too.
the AEW belt
Wouldn't
won't be
affect him.
as drastic.
Yeah.
It just adds to the story.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Makes
you know
sense.
what I mean? So let's say he does win the Ring of Honor belt right now. He has the Ring of Honor, Impact, AAA, TNA, and AEW.
Yeah.
Right? Say he got all 5.
Yeah.
If he loses just to AEW belt. That's not out of the 4 belts, out of the 5 belts. That's really it is his main company.
Yeah.
But then we go because people look at the storyline of the belt collector and think, oh, he's gonna hold all of them at once.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think
it's just a short handful of belts.
Yes. My thing is, it shouldn't be a long storyline. It shouldn't be that he holds all these belts for 2 years, even a year.
Yeah.
That's why I have him losing the AEW title at All Out with the help of Callahan. Because then it also makes him look strong because he got distracted or they cheated. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a genuine win, but it is a genuine win.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like,
yeah,
it's kind of like the whole Eddie Guerrero when he won and beat Brock. He beat Brock, but people forget Goldberg came in and hit that spear and messed up Brock's chances of winning.
Yeah.
That's when Eddie ran to the top, hit the frog splash, and won. Because if he would have just pinned him there 1, 2, 3, it would have not made Eddie legit. Because it would have just been like, oh, Goldberg helped him win the belt. So it helped him more that he hit his finisher at the end just to solidify, I am the champion, I beat Brock. Okay, and then he held the title for a while. It wasn't like he won it and then lost the belt the next storyline.
Yeah.
So like made him legit. So I think that's the same way they can do with Kenny, with making him not look as bad. Let's say he's fighting, I'm trying to think. I don't even know who would be the next challenger for the belt. Because I really don't want it to go back on Moxley.
Me neither. Me neither.
I feel like
that's already too
just
soon.
Rotating through the champions. I would love a Kingston. I would love a Darby Allin.
Hangman, Adam Page.
Hangman. But let's say just something like that. Callahan comes in, interferes. Wow, Kenny has the match beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interferes. And then let's say they still fight for 4 more minutes. Because now it's like, okay, Kenny lost cleanly, but was it really clean? Because Callahan interfered. So he doesn't lose his image. Yeah. You know what I mean? He doesn't lose that, oh, Kenny got beat clean by this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't hurt him. But then this builds up to Bound for Glory. He loses that belt. Again, Callahan cheats, and that goes on to that. And we see the spiral of Kenny Omega just falling.
Slowly losing all of his belts.
And the whole storyline in AEW is you went from the top, and now you have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's that's the babyface turn. I need to win this title back. That's when he cuts ties with the Good Brothers, he cuts ties with the Bucks, and then we get the babyface Omega.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Kind of going a completely different off topic again.
Let's do it.
But it's kind of in the same direction. So let's say between the Impact and AEW.
Yeah.
So let's say if they do, like, let's say it wouldn't be All Out. Let's say that they do a pay-per-view specifically for AEW versus Impact.
Oh, that would be dope as hell.
Where every match is an AEW star versus an Impact star, and every match let's do champions only. Let's say if
I like that. Plus, I saw like a while ago, like I read, I don't know how true it is because of the internet, but that they try to trademark the night. I forgot what it was. It was something about champions and champions going against each other though. It wasn't Night of Champions because that's a WWE.
Yeah.
Thing. I forgot what it was. It was like Battle of the Belts, something like that. But it made me think. It was right when they did right when Omega won, and then he started showing up on Impact, and they trademarked that. I was like, this has to be something down the road.
I'm assuming that they're probably using that for. Didn't they use that for Sunday for Rebellion? Didn't they have that? Didn't they have a name for that?
No, AEW trademarked it.
Oh, AEW. Oh, okay, not Impact. Okay, so let's say if let's say the champions now on both shows are still champions by then, and they each have to defend the championships against someone from the other brand, like the Impact. Like I know Kenny Omega's both. Let's say he has to defend it twice, his AEW championship because an Impact star, and the Impact Championship against an AEW star. Young Bucks defend the titles against a Impact Tag Team, Finn Juice, vice versa, and then every other team, they do the same thing, defend it from any other show. Let's start with Impact because I know it could be harder from AEW.
Yeah.
So so Omega, we could skip the Impact one for now for his belt because he's on AEW. So let's say they're the X Division champion. Who would you want from AEW to compete for the X Division championship against Josh Alexander?
Wait, so
from AEW, from AEW.
So we wouldn't do a champion versus champion.
No.
By the way, I found it. By the way, I found it. Just to cut you off real quick, it's called Battle of the Belts. It was in January. They trademarked it.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're defending the title against somebody from AEW.
AEW.
And not Darby Allin or any champion from there.
Okay, X Division guy. Trying to think, because there's so many possibilities, especially with AEW's locker room. AEW's locker room is ridiculous. I'm trying to think, because the first person popping into my head, I don't really feel he's like an X Division guy. But I'm trying to think now. Because my whole thought first was Brian Pillman. I like the Brian Pillman aspect. But is he really an X Division guy?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I think he barely makes it. I would say he would barely make it, in my opinion.
But I would put maybe like a Jungle Boy or
exactly
Isaiah
what
Cassidy.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Jungle Boy or Isaiah Cassidy. I would put for the X Division title.
See, I know they had a thing for when they had an idea for Sammy Guevara to go over there and win the title.
That would be
sick. That would be sick.
Be insane to have. But that's what I thought of. I thought that they called that all off. That's why I never even brought him up.
That's why I'm not saying him, but I was going to say
Jungle Boy. He's the perfect one. He's the perfect.
Yeah, he would be the perfect one.
Yeah.
Other than him, I was going to say Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy would be the perfect option. But then I also thought about them going for the tag team belts over there, because I feel like I think Jungle Boy was the first, other than the besides from the original the whatever tailgate thing they had in the beginning of January 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think he was the first person to sign, other than those people that showed up there. So I feel like if they give them the tag belts for Impact, that would be cool. So I had them actually Jurassic Express going for the Impact tag belts.
Really? I have another tag team in mind for that.
But for my X Division, I probably would have said, let's see, let me think. Who could be? That's the thing too. Who can be an X Division type person over there?
Because of course you have Matt Sydal, you have Matt What
I would probably have John Silver.
I was just thinking about him.
I was thinking about John Silver because then, like for Dark Order, like you could legit have like multiple different style tag teams.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter in their case. I would probably say John Silver.
Who even knows? You could get a throwback guy trying to get his belt back, like a Kazarian or Christopher Dane. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky also.
You can throw him in there.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's so many possibilities.
But if I would say like my ideal person, it'll probably be John Silver for the X Division and Jurassic Express for your tag team. Who would you want from AEW to go for the Impact tag belt?
Santana and Ortiz.
They were already tag team champs.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't choose them.
But that's where you bring in the history. That's where you bring in the history.
Okay, yeah, true.
And be like, yo.
Because my first ideal tag team would have been Private Party, but they already had their shot recently. So I was like, nah, they're not going for it again. But
which even though it was against a different team.
That is true. That is true.
So you never know.
Yeah. But there's so many over there, man.
But my ideal was since that was the first person people because of the history with it.
Like AEW has so many tag teams. Like AEW has so many tag teams, and Impact barely has any, where they can legit share tag teams. And I don't know why they don't do that.
Yeah.
Already, because honestly, I would have had an AEW superstar beat the Good Brothers first before Finn Juice. I mean, yeah, it's cool having a New Japan tag team come over and do something, which is another twist. But I would, like I said, I would have had an AEW tag team win it first.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, they Santana and Ortiz were just the first ones to pop in my head because those are like they're incredible. I love those guys.
Yeah.
FTR versus Finjuice would be insane. Now that I think about it. Like I never really thought about the tag division except for that one time Private Party went over, but I never really thought of AEW and Impact tag divisions coming together. And now I'm thinking about all the possibilities.
Yeah, because I'm now like I said, like there's Impact barely has any. So who would be a dream match against an Impact tag team? I don't know. But now Finjuice are their tag team champs. It's like okay, now I can picture anybody going for it.
But that's what I'm saying. You got FTR, you got Santana Ortiz, you got Private Party, you got the Guns, you got Reynolds and Silver, you got who else you got?
So many.
The Acclaimed. You got they broke up. You also got SCU. You know what I mean? You have so many possibilities. Let's say you're not putting Moxley in any world title fight, you Finjuice versus Moxley and the Kingston. You know what I mean? Like dope. There's just so many possibilities you can do. And I think if it happens, it will be a dope concept.
Yeah. Who would you put as the championship, the women's championship, knockouts championship?
Women's. Knockouts. Wait, going for the Impact?
Someone from AEW going for the knockouts.
I'm gonna have to say it's between Britt Baker, of course, and Penelope Ford.
Okay, I was thinking Britt Baker too, but I feel like she would be AEW Women's Champion by then. But like I said, hypothetically, if there was still same champions as today,
if it was like right now,
if it were right now, So I would say Britt Baker. But another person I could see going for it is Chris Statlander.
Yes,
I wouldn't mind seeing her go for it. I mean, I'm assuming they're giving her a big push. She won last night. She's been winning lately.
Had a really good match yesterday too.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing her go for it. I don't know about Thunder Rosa. She's not technically signed to them, even though she's been competing and represents them. But she's still technically an NWA.
Which also I would even go for her. We talked about it earlier, but we didn't bring it up. NWA has a partnership with AEW. We never talked about the NWA championship in Kenny, but that's another conversation.
Yes, another conversation.
You never know.
Who knows?
But Thunder Rosa is not technically signed. Yeah, and also, Stallion would make sense because it's the heel and face type of thing.
Yeah. It has to be somebody who can beat Deonna Purrazzo though. Yeah, like she's been beating everybody over there. So who do you see?
And she's insane in the ring. Insane. She's always. I still can't believe she left WWE. Yeah. I can't remember if they released her, if she left,
or Ty Conti. I can see Ty Conti going over there and beating her for it.
They made me believe she was taking that title off.
I did. I
think what was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. I thought she had it too.
That was match of the night. Match of the night.
And I thought she had it. I was like, yo, she's gonna beat it. And then now she's back to like the bottom of the rankings again. But I wouldn't mind Britt Baker going for it. It's been her time for a while.
No, yeah.
Another story over there. But I would see either Statlander or Ty Conti, in my opinion, should go over and face Purrazzo for the Knockouts title. I don't want to talk about the Knockouts tag team. There aren't really many tag teams. Not gonna get into it. If you want,
but there's a couple, like they're trying to make.
Yeah, they're trying, but it's like I don't really see.
But it's slowly happening. Like it's tough for them. Like, but we'll see what happens. You never know.
So to the AEW side, for the TNT Championship, who would you want to see from Impact go over and face Darby Allin?
For the TNT,
there's so many over there in Impact too. There's like but
there's like so many possibilities with I'm just trying to think. Like right now, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull up the roster real quick, just so I have everybody in front of me. Because this roster too, man.
Yeah.
For the TNT title.
For me, these are two dream matches I want to see.
Okay.
The first one I mentioned before, Swan. Swan can go with the TNT Championship. he technically treats it as an open challenge. So it could be like, I'll come through and I can challenge for your belt, take it off you.
Yeah.
Now I got your championship on our network. And that kind of thing, like, Kenny stole our belts, I steal your television network's championship, and I brought it over to our company type of thing.
Yeah.
Also another dream match, the more important one that I really want to see, Trey Miguel.
Yeah.
Trey Miguel's the guy to do it. I feel like that would be the pay-per-view worthy match, in my opinion, over Swan.
I feel you. Yeah.
Swan could be like a regular TV match main event that Darby's been doing this past couple of weeks. I wouldn't mind that. But for a pay-per-view, like an all-out or double or nothing or something, if they do an Impact versus AEW thing, it would be Trey Miguel versus Darby Allin. You could say like a Sami Callihan, a Moose, or someone big over there, but I feel like someone who fits Darby's style is going to have to be the one to take it from him. And I think it'll be Trey Miguel.
Yeah. I'm a big Willie Mack fan.
Okay,
I can see that happening.
I'm not too big on him, but I can see that happening. Nah, not really. I don't know. He's good in the ring, yes, I'll give it to him there. But like, I'm not like a big fan of him. But it's like, he deserves.
I like him a lot. I think he, like, when you put him in the ring, he's really good. Yeah. I think that would be a cool match. But the Trey Miguel one is like the marquee. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ideal match to happen.
Yeah.
Who you gonna put, like, TJP? Like,
yeah. I feel like TJP has already had too many championships over there. It's like, okay, he doesn't need to go over to
yeah, he's doing his thing. People really hate him, but it's like, he's not bad. Like,
he's not bad.
I live.
He's meant for that though. He's meant for the cruiserweight type style.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's meant for. I don't like.
And he could probably put on a good match with Darby. I'm not trying to take none away from him.
Like the difference between TJP and Swan. It's like, I think Swan, both of them are former cruiserweight championships and champions in WWE, and I feel like Rich Swann could win world championships, while TJP is just meant for that cruiserweight style fatigue. He's meant for the X division. He's meant for the junior heavyweight championships. He's meant for that type of thing.
Yeah,
I don't see him going for the world championship or any big title like that.
Oh, who else we didn't talk about was like Eric Young, or oh my goodness, let me look up this guy. His name was Chris something. Chris with a B.
Steven?
Chris Bay.
Chris Bay, yes.
Chris Bay, right?
He hasn't been on Impact in a while. I've not seen him.
I don't know where he went.
I don't know.
But him and Alan
did not think
put it down. Ace Austin also, but I think he's the champion.
No, Josh Alexander. He lost it on Sunday.
Yes. He just lost it.
So Josh. So I would, now that I think about it. Oh, there's so many now. I didn't even think of those two people, honestly.
Yeah.
I would probably say Chris Bay. Actually, I changed my answers. Chris Bay over Trey Miguel. Even though, like I said,
that's a good one.
I still think Trey Miguel should be. It's still the dream match for Darby Allin from Impact, but I think Chris Bay should get it first. In my opinion,
I think that would be a dope match.
Yeah, that would be a dope one. For the tag team belts, for the Young Bucks, there aren't many tag teams over there in Impact, anyways.
There's not a lot, bro.
Not a lot. There aren't any. Like, really.
I mean, like.
How about this? If you were to take
up a tag team,
make up a tag team. Two random individuals.
I mean, there's Triple XL.
No.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Ace Guerrero.
Make a tag team.
Two Impact guys who think they can go coexist. You know what? I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say Trey Miguel go for the TNT Championship, and then have TJP and Chris Bay go for the tag team belts. Two high flyers, and then they could probably figure something. They could probably just make up a random name. Who else? Who knows? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they just go. I think they could be a great tag team. Like, if you just really give them time to coexist and give them a name, give them time to shine as a tag team. Because AEW has done it. AEW puts two random people together and make them a tag team, and it works.
Well, and I feel like they would match up.
Yeah.
But even if you just put a random tag team that may be like, because we always see the Bucks against people their size. You know what I mean? Like, we never seen them against different size wrestlers.
Yeah.
So maybe if you make like a random tag team, like, let's say it's not random right now because he just debuted him on Sunday, but Eric Young and what's he going as in
W.
Morrissey? Yeah. Morrissey and Eric Young versus the Young Bucks.
Okay.
And now you have somebody that's small that they can do all their regular stuff with.
What if they sign Enzo before then, and then they put Enzo and W Morrissey now in the tag team against the Young Bucks?
But that's what I'm saying. As long as you have cast with somebody smaller that's the size as the Bucks, so that they can still do the same thing that they always do and what they're known for. But then we also get to see how creative they can be against somebody 7 foot tall fighting for the tag title. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be cool. I think that's the way to get the title off of them.
Yeah.
And have W. Morrissey and whoever his partner is get the title taken from them from Lucha Express. I mean, Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Because of the small guy, big guy combo. I think that's the perfect way to get the titles back to AEW down the line. You know what I mean? It's a good matchup for them because you have the Jungle Boy with whether it's Eric Young, they sign Enzo, or you put somebody else with Morrissey, and then you have Morrissey and his name is slipping my mind right now.
Eric Young?
No.
Enzo?
No.
Cool.
Jungle Boy,
Luchasaurus.
Oh my god! I just messed up the name because I called him Lucha Express. And I was like, oh, Jurassic Express. I was like, I can't think of this guy's
the Lucha
name.
Dinosaur.
But yes, that's the way to get a good matchup for them. You know what I mean? And then, but we'll be able to see, and it'll get to show people that the Young Bucks aren't just super kicks and all the same stuff that they always do. Now they're trying to adapt to the 7-footer.
How can they super kick a 7-footer? You can't reach his fucking face.
You gotta be creative, baby. Yeah. You gotta be creative, and I think that would be dope.
Exactly. Who would you see going for Hikaru Shida's Women's Championship? Impact.
Trying
to think of the women's division right now. Like, who's there?
I would think. Trying to think who can like.
I would probably say, who's a singles who hasn't gone for a title recently in Impact? I'm trying to think of their women's division. I would probably say a Jordan Grace, but she's not.
She just won the.
Yeah, I would put her. I would give her a singles match against Shida. Yeah, I'll probably put her against Shida. There's no one because he already had what's her name, who faced Perazo on Sunday. She used to go by Emma. That person. I don't know her new name anymore. I forgot her name.
Dashwood. Tennille?
Yes, Tennille Dashwood. Yeah.
Tennille.
So
yeah.
I would even put her against Shida. I feel like Shida works against smaller people.
Kiera Hogan?
No. Like
you don't think so?
Nah. Maybe. I wouldn't like. I don't think someone like realistically. If I wanted someone to beat Shida from Impact, it'll probably be Jordan Grace. I don't think Shida works well with bigger people. I know she's worked well with Nyla Rose, but I feel like that wasn't really that great for Shida, and I think that's her weakness. So I think if there's someone to beat her, someone who has size and strength, it would be Jordan Grace to beat her for it.
Okay.
Still be a baby face person, so I don't think anybody would be mad at that. But okay, she won. Okay, that's cool. That's it.
Because my thought was Hogan because I think she would match up good with her. I think that would be dope.
That's why I said like Shida works well with smaller people. And I think that's her benefit.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like AEW only has Nyla Rose, who's kind of big, and Jordan Cargill. What's Cargill? What's her first name? Isn't her first name Jordan Cargill? The one who teamed with Shaq.
Oh my goodness, I'll tell you right now. Isn't it like I don't even remember her name, to be honest. Her name is Cargill.
Okay, yeah, Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill, yeah, Jade Cargill. Jade. Jordan. Something with a J.
You know what Jade it is? Cargill. She had that one match and just disappeared.
No, she's been competing every so often there, but like
but you forget about it. You know what I mean? Like
she
was all up in your face for like a couple of weeks and then
boom.
I was like, oh, I even forgot. Like when you said it, I was like, who? And you were like, oh, she teamed with Shaq. I was like, oh, I forgot her name.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. Me too. But she could also be someone who could go for Peraza's Impact Knockouts
yeah,
Women's Championship. That's
definitely.
it's really about more people who can get more time and more exposure over there.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to think of people.
give people
Yeah,
the platform.
yeah, exactly. What other title? So if you were to choose anybody from Impact to face for AEW, Kenny Omega and AEW's World Championship, who would you have? Because we
Ooh,
already talked about some of them already. I don't know if you're gonna continue with stay
who's
with those
not
people.
him?
Yeah,
Who's not him? I would maybe put. I would Moose.
yeah.
Moose is always a go-to.
I think he
Um,
should like I've always said this about Moose and Sammy Callahan. I mean, we spoke about them a lot, but
yeah,
those two guys are
because
guys who
those are,
need.
in my opinion, they're the faces of Impact.
Yeah, but I think they
Yeah,
need to go different routes. Like, yes, it's for the Impact in AEW World Championships,
yeah,
but it's not on an Impact televised show. It's on AEW. So even though it's their Impact Superstars, but they're going to compete on AEW television
yeah.
and
So you want to
AEW
give
televised
people,
program. Yeah, something different.
yeah, a
Like
taste
yeah,
of what Impact is, other than their top people. So
exactly.
maybe,
Maybe they would go over there and do something for a bit.
or you could get somebody super reliable like a James Storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? Thinking about them, I think James Storm, like either the Motor City Machine Guns or just Chris Sabin and James Storm go after the Young Bucks. That would be a great
I think that would be
dream
cool.
match.
But I think they're still injured. Who's? I think
Alex
it's
Shelley,
say. Is it? Hold on one second.
go.
So I think you said it was Alex Shelley that's injured.
Yeah,
So maybe if you do that, put that tag team again together, James Storm and Sabin, to
yeah,
go against the Bucks. I didn't even think of them, to be honest. But I do remember that they did tag up together. I think it was against the Good
Good
Brothers
Brothers.
and
Yeah,
Private Party when that whole
yeah,
storyline was
yeah.
happening.
That was kind of like annoying. I was thought Private Party would have had a chance to beat them, just them two, without Shelley and without Sabin and Storm. But it's like
Yeah.
kind of necessary. But I wouldn't mind them getting a rematch for it, just them two and no other
No,
their teammate.
definitely. Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch. There's a lot.
There's
I know there's a
so
lot,
there's
many.
so many possibilities,
And
and
I
as
think
we're
this is
talking
like
about it,
I don't think this is going to be like a one time thing. Like like Impact versus AEW. I think we're going to see like a whole bunch of like not in a way where it's an AEW versus Impact storyline. I think they're just gonna help you use each other's roster in the
I think they're
meantime,
gonna yeah, I think they're gonna share
in a
superstars.
non competitive way. Where it's like, okay, this is not a company versus company. It's just let me borrow your 2 stars,
Yeah.
need them for our division, and that's it.
We'll try to build them up so that you can use them on your show. So
Yeah.
that, let's say, I'm trying to think.
Maybe they leave AEW and join Impact. Now it's like they were big on AEW. How they didn't Impact? Maybe they're doing other things now.
Exactly. Like how we talked about Jungle Boy going against for the X Division title. Let's say he
Yeah.
wins it, right? And that's just gonna help him elevate him, or even like a John Silver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That even though they're building them up at AEW and you can't really give them a title at the moment, we can give them a title and legitimize them so that when they go back to you, they're on a roll. But you need to do the same with us.
Yeah.
It can't just be AEW clears the scoreboard and sweep. You know what I mean? Like,
seems like that's where they're going with it. I don't want to assume that, but it seems like they've been getting most of the advantage with this storyline.
yeah.
So I feel like at some point, I think Impact needs to send over some of their people to AEW. Maybe have someone win the TNT Championship from Impact and bring it over to on Thursday nights instead of keeping it on Wednesday nights.
I think that's what they do need. I think
because like I said before, they don't want to have Sammy Guevara win the X Division Championship. That would have been 2 AEW stars with 2 of their belts.
Yeah,
that would have hurt them heavily.
But I think the people to do it against is the Bucks. I think the easiest way to do that is against the tag team titles. Yeah. Because they're the biggest stars on like they're everybody on AEW, everybody as a champion is a star, but the Young Bucks are like household names. Yeah. You know what I mean? Compared to Darby Allin, they have that name. It's the Young Bucks. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if somebody comes from Impact and wins the tag titles and brings them into Impact, and you have them defend it on Impact, that's going to bring more viewers to you.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go. And I think that's just the idea that I gave with the tall man, little man aspect, because then that's when you don't need the Bucks don't need the belts. You know what I mean? They don't need them.
They don't need
right now. They need them for the storyline, but do they really need them? Not really.
Yeah. The only way I would accept if W Morrissey wins the 8 tag team championship if it's with Enzo. Like, I don't want to see him winning with Eric Young or anybody else. You don't want to see him winning with Eric Young? Not really. Like, I feel like they both complement each other so well that you cannot have them with anybody else. Imagine seeing Enzo teaming up with what if he teamed up with someone from AEW? That would be weird because it's not Big Cass. And it's weird seeing Big Cass and teaming with Eric Young because it's not Enzo. That's the team that needs to they click so well, either when it's promo wise or in the ring. They cannot. I feel like they shouldn't go with other people.
I think I could see them with other people. Like, I could see. I'm gonna just call him Cass because I hate the Morrissey name.
Yeah,
call Cass with Young or any of these other guys in Impact. And who knows if Enzo shows up on AEW?
Ooh, who knows?
The only way he works is with a big guy.
Yeah.
I would put him with
I love them when they're by themselves. Like, I love them I love them when they're by themselves. Like when they're
definitely.
WWE. I love their runs individually. But putting them with another person as a tag team, I don't see that happening. I just don't like it. I don't know. It's just not right.
Like, I feel you.
What if Isaiah Cassidy teamed with somebody else? What if Matt Jackson teamed with somebody else? It's not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
even though they haven't been around for that long.
But I don't know if I feel the same way with Enzo and Cass though. Like it is cool. They do complement each other and all that stuff. But who knows if anybody's even trying to sign Enzo at the moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know he has stuff going on, but it's like, you know what? I would prefer him go on the singles run over going into tag team.
I just say Eric Young because he's the one who debuted him. Like, he was the one who introduced him, so it makes sense.
Maybe he does join that group, and then maybe it'd be cool if they did a storyline with Enzo, but like Cass joins the group, and then it's like, oh, Enzo comes to it, like, oh, he's brainwashing you, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Join me, then Eric Young joins the.
I think Enzo doesn't even need to wrestle anymore. I think Enzo is so good as a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he could be
like he could just come back and be a manager.
Yeah, like I think it's just a manager. It's fine.
Yeah, like but yeah, I think there's so many possibilities, bro. Like even talking about the X division, you know who I forgot to even mention?
Who?
Kip.
No, yeah.
Nah? You don't think so?
Not yet. I mean, I feel like he's been put like, if he has a great singles run after this Miro breakup, then yeah.
But I think that's the way to kick it off, though.
Yeah,
because the whole thing is to help talent that's not really doing anything. This would help legitimize him. Even if he doesn't win.
Yeah,
we know he can kill in the ring, and we know it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah.
So it'll make everybody be like, "Ooh, we forgot how good this guy is in a singles match."
Yeah. Yeah. So
even if he doesn't win, there's so many possibilities.
So many. So I guess we could just wrap it up right here.
Yeah, bro. We did
that was a whole fantasy booking. Whole bunch of fantasy booking. AEW and
IMPACT. Yeah.
Yeah.
We even talk about adding other companies in.
We did for a brief minute, but I just wanted to get that topic in, even though we had an episode about that previously. Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to end off with this. For the people listening to this, if you guys listening to this want, if there's any other champion from another company that you would want to see Kenny Omega face and have him defeat that champion and hold the championship, who would that champion be from another company and why? Comment that in the comments section below, because Kenny Omega is the collector, he's the belt collector. He's Kenny 4 belts. he's Kenny whatever you call him, whatever you want, but he is the belt collector. 4 belts around him. You can definitely add more. So, like I said, comment down below which other champion you'd like to see Kenny Omega face and take the title off of. I am Nick, your host. With me, as always, my co-host Joel. This has been episode number 33 of the Ring Fanatics Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch you.